freshman here at Wagner. I'm a film media studies major. I live in Harborview. My RA is Gina. She's the best.
Gina!
And if you know me or if you don't, one thing you should know is that I freaking love to tell stories. It's my favorite thing in the world. It can be stories about ghosts, stories about your best friends, anything. And one thing I do is tell stories with some words that rhyme. Poems, as we call them. And I do it an awful lot. I feel an awful lot, so I just want to let you guys know. Here's one of the stories I wanted to tell you tonight. It's called My Father's Son. When I was growing up, I'd always imagine the same cylindrical scene, my father's words echoing beneath the flowers that blossom from cracks of the concrete. He said to me, "Kid, you don't have to always know why you love something. You just do. So stop trying to fill somebody else's shoes. When you love somebody, you will know." And that's what got me thinking. His words the reason behind my lukewarm feeling, in my chest and my high hopes. When I meet the one, I will know. Because my dad said so. So imagine this with me. Fields of yellow and green, hints of orange underneath. Chrysanthemums and sunflowers at dusk. A guttural urge that I must just look up. God damn it, and I will. And I will see her, and I will know. What a childish preconceived thought that was to nurture and believe. Love is not found in fields, it is found in subway cars and classrooms and even mirrors if you're lucky. So I stomach the idea of not keeping my eyes closed because when I find her, I will know because my dad said so. Now one night I lie in my bed, lie on my chest, an insomniac at best. I cried and I cried, soaked through the pillow with my weary eyes. I was older now and knew what it was like to hold her hand and feel her lips, the weight of her body over my hips. I was in love for more reasons than one. And even if I didn't have to know why, I damn well did. She was beautiful and kind with those big blue eyes and arms that kept me from getting cold or feeling old. And my dad, he loved her and treated her like our own. And that felt like coming home in the warmest way. But still, I cried like a scared little boy. I looked myself in the eye and said, "You are in love, you coward. You know she's enough, so cut the crap and grow up. You are in love, you know." Dad said so. So what had me nodded, overwhelmed and rotted, upset and confused? I had filled those shoes, so what was wrong? It was true. We went to Central Park together, and she fell asleep, comforted on my shoulder in the subway car on the way back. That was love. Flickering fluorescence and store-brand colognes, short stops and never having to sit alone. I am in love. I had found it in a subway car, not a field. My dad raised me a city boy after all, and how cliche. He would know because he said so. Now don't worry, I found it in classroom too, just as he assumed, in oversized jackets and little black shoes. It was there, and who knew? I found it in subway cars, classrooms too, but alas, the mirror across the room is what I learned to love last. And I didn't think my father could have possibly known that. I cried and I asked why. I said, "Dad, this body's not mine." He didn't understand, but neither did I. The girl that I loved, the one that made me feel like I was enough, she pushed my palm to hers and held them up. And I looked to her and I said, in all my truth, "You couldn't possibly fathom just how much I love you." From the candy bar to the subway car, to the classroom banter only 2 feet apart, love is patient, love is kind. And again, I cried. I thought about my father's words. I mulled them over like a pebble in my mouth, hard to swallow, but just as easy to spit out. I remembered what he'd said on a separate occasion, hunched over my bed. You can't love anybody else until you learn to love yourself. I called my father a liar that night. He couldn't have possibly known how much I loved her. The soft smile that would find me through the phone. Sweet nothings that meant everything. The nights that were nothing short of dismal until she came around. I love her, you liar, you don't even know. But see, he did know. He knew the way I tugged at my shirt, the way I only hoped that when I made a customer's coffee, they would not call me miss. He knew that I would work out until my knees gave out just so I could keep up with my brothers. And he knew how my mother refused to see me as anything other than her only daughter. He knew I was in love. He also knew, well before I did, that I had been putting all my energy into loving the wrong person, the person who needed it the most. I was still holding her hand. The air felt heavier somehow. Her touch was soft, sweet almost. But still, it singed my palm and burned the space between my ribs, like the dying flame at the very tip of a candle wick. I took a breath in, forever fearful of losing that bittersweet spark. I spoke. I need this time to be on my own. The words dribbled from my lips and stuck like drool. Love was not an option, this I knew. The beauty I could not find in my big blue eyes, I found in hers. The mirror only ever caught my eye if she was standing by my side. She called me handsome, and that felt like a damn lie. It wasn't her fault. I hated to see her cry, feel the weight of her body not on my hips but collapsing into mine. It wasn't her fault, I just needed time to understand that being a real man takes a lot more than looking into a mirror. Because I was naive. I'd fallen in love to cover up a lie that I'd been telling myself since I was 5. It wasn't fair. So I called it quits on the girl I was to be the man I know I am. So when she rightfully asked why I needed to take this time, I didn't lie. I said, if there's one thing my father taught me, it's how to be a man, take a stand, and to love my goddamn self again. And that, as long as I am happy, that is the life I should be living. In conclusion, I'd found love in many places. Central Park and subway cars, classrooms and candy bars, but I never found it in myself, not until now. I used to be my mother's daughter, but now I am my father's son, and I know I am not the only one. Love the silhouette in the mirror and the things will become clear. Live and let love, your time will come.